start, if you could call it plan, was just write a song, put it to a dance beat, then potentially you can capture radio, club and the wider public. Pete Burns of Dead or Alive heard Whatever I Do, Wherever I Go coming out of his radio.
He said, I want to make a record like Hazel Dean.
Found out who'd produced it and made contact with Stock Aitken and Waterman to make his record.
Would I like to meet Pete Burns? Because they would like us to make a record. And I couldn't take my eyes off him. So I knew it was like, whoa, this is quite incredible.
Dead or Alive, they had a record deal with CBS. It was at the time probably the biggest record label.
Pete said to me, you know, this is a major act for us on a major label. We've got a great budget.
Pete Burns would always turn up to the studio in the full outfit, the big hair and the makeup.
And he played me 3 tracks. And then he played me Spin Me Round. And I went, that'll do.
It was that song of all their songs that they had that Pete thought we should work on first. We changed the arrangement of the structure of the song just to make it flow what we thought better.
So the whole process was very slow, very painstaking. On that particular track, a lot of the parts were already programmed, and it was a matter of putting those down with the right sound.
Matt and me didn't really need any help from the band members. We were busy trying to get the technology that we needed to realise that record.
Mike Stock told him quite rightly at one point, Pete Burns, we weren't teachers. We weren't there to teach him how the desk worked. We were there to give him hit records, which Pete took like a lead balloon.
Watch out, here I come.
Once we got the vocals on, it was great, because Pete just aced it, and I just aced it as well.
Pete Burns and possibly other members of the band didn't really understand the mixing process.
We were at loggerheads. I mean, we really were at loggerheads. I sort of said, OK, guys, off you go. All of you, at the studio.
And said to me, Phil, you're staying there.
We're going to finish this. And if you don't like it, that's it, we're over.
And Pete Waterman and I set about a long evening's mix.
At about 10:30, 11 o'clock, the desk broke down and we had to wait for the engineer to come up from Southend. So he didn't get there till 12:30.
First to hear it would have been Mike and Matt. They used to arrive at around 10 in the morning.
Played the record to Matt and Mike made some comments because I got certain things wrong in the mix. Now, there's no way at this point I can rectify this. I said, for Christ's sake, don't say anything. So Pete Burns and the boys came in, and I said to Phil, right, whack it up as loud as it will go on the big speakers. I watched Pete Burns' face. It was like a child. Within 20 seconds, he's jumping up and down, they're all whooping, they're all getting excited.
I get to know your name.
First time I ever heard it in a club, it was like everybody went, what is this?
We had a lot of confidence in the record, but it just seemed that the machinery of the record company was preventing it from going to where it wanted. And in fact, it turned out that they just weren't pressing enough 12 inches. And a lot of the demand was for, we had 2 or 3 mixes. They were pressing a lot of 7 inches, but not enough 12 inches, and that was really throttling it. Once they caught up with what they should have been doing, that's when it started to really climb.
I mean, Spin Me Round was just the perfect pop record. It was great on the radio. It was a song that you could really dance to. And I guess Stock Aitken and Waterman, that was their roots. That's what they did. They made high-energy dance music. And, of course, gave them their first ever UK #1.
I'm going, thank you very much. I can buy a house now. That's it. Mansion in the country, swimming pool. I might buy 2 mansions.
We sort of rubbed our hands, thought, yeah, there we are, we've made it. And nobody called us. Nobody rang up. Phone stopped ringing, really.